Just watch everything go on. You know, so far, you know, regular. And it's good. It's good food. It, when we can have to go away. Everyone got memories from the Bible. Such and accepted. Strive following its footsteps, settling against each other. Each of us have a great people into error by helping for a good for teaching. It teaches them how to lead them up, lead their minds astray away from the path, doing many other bad things. We will parents transport all those who are enemy around the world. This pours in the minds of our 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 youth. Please make sure someone fall in love for a price. Murder before head wishing to get ahead for myself. When infants are 10 years old, mother, and if one cry during the night, I become asleep and rush in and attack the infant to his wife. His more easily premature infant is harmful My strength happens to reside in my head, in my hand. That is like that which takes place at the execution book. I grab hold of my head and cut them off and attach them to myself. Then by fire, which is continually burning in me, consume them through my neck. I inflame with inflict feet, inflicts feet, and through and produces festering sore. A lion-shaped being, the one who sneaks in and watches over all who are lying ill with a disease, and make it impossible for a man to recover from his taunt. I involve the legion of demons. I invoke a legion of demons, subject to me, for I am at the place where they are when the sun is setting. Meeting. Head of dragon. In the womb of the woman, head of Satan. In the womb of woman, I blind children. I also meet them down on the body and make them fall down, foam at the mouth, and grind their teeth. Obey your slow. Do not rest at night, but travel around all the world, resting, visiting women, and during the hour when they give birth, I search for them and strangle them, their newborn infants. I do not go through a single night without success. I even make the rounds and go into the remotest areas. Otherwise, my work is limited to killing the newborn infants, ensuring I condemning mouths, destroying minds, and making bodies feel pain. Winged dragon. I do not copulate with many women, but with only a few who have beautiful bodies, who possess a means of look this star. I render, I render, I reason, I reserve with them in the form of a wind spirit, copulating with them through their bucket. One woman I attack is bearing a child, and that which is born from her becomes furious because it could not be tolerated by men. That will perish. Any any piece here, give us any any piece equals any piece equals. I can change my appearance, first being taken for a goddess and then becoming one Latanian, then becoming one who has some other shape. I however here I hover near the moon. Because of this I assume three forms. At times I am conjured up as Cronus by the wise men. At other times I descend around those who bring me down in, and appear in another form. I also turn to Trump to a Trump email me on with no hit. Kuna Tibet, the cruel sea harsh game. I am a cruel spirit of the sea. I rise up and come on the open sea with the sea, and I trip up the great number of men who sail on it. I raise myself up, take men, and hurl them under the sea. So I'm always lasting after their body. But until now, I have been taking, carting the treasures out of. I trade myself into waves, come up from the sea, and show myself to men. They call me Kuna Higo because I trade myself into a man. Because I, I cause a type of seasickness when I pass into me. Let's see us straight. My home is in inaccessible places. In act, my activity is this. I seek itself. I seek myself near dead men in the tombs and at night. I assume the form of the dead. If I seize anyone, I immediately kill him with the sword. If I should not be able to kill him, I cause him to be possessed by a demon and to grow his own and to gnaw his own flesh to pieces, and the saliva of his jaws to flow down. I cause wrath, I cause head of men to suffer pain, and I cause their temples to crack. Marasia, Marasaka, I cause men on the side of their head. I do a lot of hell. I do much damage to the eye. Oral hell. I attack throats, resulting in sore throats and mucus. Ka, Iro, Ox, and other land. I cause ears to have obstruction. Sifi, Sifeng, Daniel. I produce tumors to I produce tumors of the parotid gland and tectonic recurvations. Sun, uh, Sandor, I weaken the strength of the shoulders and deaden the nerve of the hand. I make limbs paralyzed. And this Africa right now, Bell, I pervert the heart of men and mind of men. Coral style, I send forth colics in the bowl. Method tox, I cause pain in the kidney. Cut me cold fire. I unleash pipes and fuel the home in home and fuel in home. Soft foot, Toria. I put dissensions in the mind of men, and I cause them to stumble. Oh, Bosia. I cause losing. of the thunder, warrior. I bring on chills and shivering and poetry, so this deal and shivering and numbness. Cut, struck, I inflict incurable fevers and me. I in rock pack. I sit on the stomach of a man and cause convulsion in the bar. On the street, I find the man and make him fall to the ground. Or near 14 angels, archangel area. On the street, 14 angels, the house one. Asmodeus, 14 angels, Raphael. Bel- Beelzebub, 14 angels, the house one. Lich, Lich, Tetra, uh, Tephara, Tephara, 14 angels, La, well, I am deception, 14 angels, Lamma, Shiel, and 14 angels, Bara, Shiel, and Faith, 14 angels, more, more of, more and more, Mistress, 14 angels, Bow, P, O, 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 Air, 14 angels, Oriel, Oriel, and Power, 14 angels, Aster, of Murder, Mother, 14 angels, are escorted by flash of lightning, Yahweh. The lion shaped demon, spotted by Immanuel, Noel, head of dragon, Satan, spotted by Yahweh, or the priest, Markor, Markor, or Mark, Obi, Zo, spotted by Raphael, Mini dragon, spotted by Ba, Ja, Ja, the angel Buzzard, any fishy ghost, spotted by Rotan, Neil, Demon, Eagle, the two heart, spotted by Llama, Little Spirit, spotted by Yahweh, Rock, spotted by Michael, Bar, Ra, Say, Sapphire, spotted by Gabriel, Ark of Sire, spotted by Orion, Orion, or Rockfield, spotted by Raphael, Ka, Oaxan non Dalan sorted by Oroya Safendo Don Nair sorted by Sabah Safando sorted by Araya Belbel sorted by Kara L. Koyu Kyle sorted by Lola of Mita Mita sorted by Adon AL. Katan Nicosia sorted by Angel Ayel Ilio Sabah Sa Sa Pato Iyo Iyo Sons of Sabah Sabah O Bohia Ibaya Hosen Zero Year sorted by La Aya Hosen Hot Rock sorted by Visual by Golden Girl Sobi Fear LT sorted by Visual I see Oxia sorted by Hosen C Copa sorted by Hosen David Bowie sorted by Hosen Look up first. Look up the sons of the one was saying Jacob had taken Jacob had taken everything that belonged to our father. It is at our father's expense that we have acquired all this wealth. Jacob saw some Laman things that things were not as they had been. Yahweh said to Jacob, go back to the land of your forefathers, to your kindred. I will be with you. So Jacob had Rachel and Leah called to the field to extract her. And he said to them, I can see from your father's face that I am out of favor with you. No, but the God of my father has been with me. You yourselves know that I have worked for your father with all my strength. Your father has stripped me 10 times, changed my wages. The Alliance has not allowed him to harm me. Whenever he said, the spotted ones shall be your wages, all the animals produce spotted young. Whenever he said, the striped ones shall be your wages, all the animals produce striped young. Thus Alliance has taken our father, your father's livestock, and given it to me. Happened at the time when the animals were on heat, that in a dream I looked up and saw that the males covering the female of the flock were striped or spotted or piebald. In the dream, the angel of Elohim called to me, Jacob, and I answered, I am here. He said, look up and see that the males covering the female of the flock are striped or spotted or piebald. For I have seen all that Laban has done to you. I am Yahweh, I am Align, the Align of Bethel. When you pour oil on a monument, and where you made a vow to me. And get ready to leave this country and return to the land of your birth. In answer, in answer, Rachel and Leah said to him, have we any shares left in the inheritance of our father's house? Would he not treat us as foreigners? For he had sold us and gone on to use up all our money. Surely all the riches of Aram have taken from our father belong to us. All the riches Aram has taken from our father belong to us and to our children. So do all that Aram has told you. Jacob made ready and put his children and his wife on camels, drove all his livestock before him, with all he had acquired, the livestock belonging to him, which he had acquired in Padan Aram, to go to his father Isaac in the land of Canaan. When Laban had gone to shear his flock, Rachel stole the whole idol belonging to her father. Jacob outwitted Laban the Aramean by giving him no inkling of his flight. He fled with all he had and went away, crossing the river and making for Mount Gilead. Laban pursues Jacob. 3 days later, Laban was told that Jacob had fled, taking his brothers with him. He pursued him for 7 days and overtook him at Mount Gilead. Alayam called by night in a dream to Laban, the Aramean. Alayam came by night in a dream to Laban, the Aramean, and said to him, on no account saying anything whatever to Jacob. Laban caught up with Jacob to who had pitched his tent in the hills. And Laban pitched camp on Mount Gilead. Laban said to Jacob, what have you done? Tricking me and driving my daughters for off like prisoners of war. Why did you flee in secret, stealing away without letting me know, so that I could send you on your way rejoicing with songs and letting me know, so I could send you on your way rejoicing. and the music of tambourines and lyres. You did not even let me kiss my sons and daughters. You have behaved like a fool. It is in my power to do you harm, but Alan, your father, said to me last night, on no account saying anything whatever to Jacob. Now it may be you really went because you had such a longing for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods? Jacob answered Laban, I was afraid, thinking you were going to snatch your daughters from me. But however, but whoever is found in possession of your gods shall not remain alive. In the presence of our brothers, examine yourself what I have, and take what is yours. Now Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. Laban went into Jacob's tent and then into Leah's tent and the tent of the two slave girls, but he found nothing. He came out to Leah's tent and went into Rachel's. Now Rachel had taken the household idols and put them into the camel's litter, lighter, a litter, and was sitting on them. Laban went through everything in the tent but found nothing. Then Rachel said to her father, do not look angry, my lord, because I cannot rise in your presence, for I am as woman are from time to time. Laban searched but did not find the idol. Then Jacob lost his temper and took Laban to task. And Jacob said to Laban, what is my offense? What is my crime? That you have set on me, you have gone through all my belongings. Have you found anything belonging to your household? Produce it here in the presence of my brothers and yours, and let them decide between the two of us. In all the 20 years I have been with you, your ewes and your she-goats have never miscarried, and I have eaten none of the rams from your flock. As for those mauled by wild beasts, I have never brought them back to you, but have borne the loss myself. Reclaim them from me, whether it was robbed by day or robbed by night. In the daytime, the heat has consumed me, and at night, the cold has gone at me, and sleep has fled from my eyes. These 20 years I have been in your household. 14 years I have worked for you, for your two daughters. 14 years I have worked for your two daughters, and 6 years for your flock. And 10 times have you changed my wages. If Alam, if the Alam of my father, the Alam of Abraham, the kinsman of Isaac, had not been with me, you would have sent me away empty-handed. But Alam has seen my weariness and the work done by my hands. And last night he delivered judgment, a treaty between Jacob and Laban. Jacob gave Jacob Laban gave Jacob an answer. These daughters are my daughters, and these sons are my sons. These sheep are my sheep, and all that you see belongs to me. But what can I do today about my daughters and about my sons they have borne? Come now, let me make a covenant, you and I, and let it serve as a witness between us. Then Jacob took a stone and set it up as a mount. Jacob said to his kinsmen, collect some stones and gatherings. Some stones they made in some stone and gathering some stones they made a cairn.
To all guys in long distance relationships, if you suspect your girl might be cheating or seeing another guy, download this app. It'll let you know for sure. Open this app, enter her number, and everything's right there. You'll be able to see all her
Cairn,
WhatsApp
a
messages,
mound of rough stones
videos
built
instantly
as a
without her knowing.
memorial or
It's
landmark,
easy to use,
typically,
runs quickly,
typically on
and
a
doesn't
hill
cost
or
anything.
skyline.
Download it now.
Monument. Jacob said to his kinsmen, collect some stones, and gathering some stones they made a carrying. They had a mule deer on the carrying, and Laban called it Jegar Saha Dukta. Meanwhile Jacob called it Gilead. Laban said, may this carrying be witness between us today. That is why he named it Gilead and also Mizpah, because he said, let Yahweh act as watchman between us, when we are no longer in sight of each other. If you ill treat my daughters or in addition to my daughters, even though no one be with us, remember Yahweh is witness between us, alliance between us. Then Laban said to Jacob, here is this carrying I have thrown up between us, and here is the monument. This carrying is a witness, and the monument bears witness. I must not pass this carrying to attack me, and you must not pass this carrying and this monument to attack me. The alliance of Abram and the alliance of Nahor judge between us. When Jacob swore by the kinsman of his father Isaac, he offered a sacrifice. They ate the meal and passed the night on the mountain. 32. Footnote. Yeah. They always stick covenant. It emphasizes the fact that Jacob is in the right and enjoys the divine protection. This did not appear from the narrative of chapter 30, which is secular in character. B. It was considered misery if a father-in-law did not return to his daughter a part of the sum paid over by the husband at the time of marriage. This insertion is a priest small domestic idols. Possessions of these could constitute a claim to inheritance. Euphrates. F. Like the preceding narrative, Eloistic, Eloistic the position, the possible exception of some Yahwistic fragments. G. Literally neither good nor evil, nothing at all. God came by night in the dream to Laban, the Aramean, please go on no account, say anything, whatever. So distant conjunction, you were singular, some nuclear. According to Exodus 22, verse 8, the shepherd is accounted innocent if he can produce the remains of an animal, alleged to have been killed by a wild beast. Okay. A name for a lion that appears only here and in verse 53. Arabic and Palmyra reading Aramaic justify this translation. The phrase has been rendered the fear of Isaac to total and two. If the lion of my father, the lion of Abraham, the kinsman of Isaac, fear of Isaac has not been with me, you would have sent me away empty handed. Atlanta transformed Atlanta freedom field. 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 Hud. 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 Silver. Red. Different. Field. Sudden alarm. Coupled with object field. By imputation feeling. Field. Field. Okay, in traditions, Yahustic and Elohustic appear to have been combined here. One, formal pact regulating the frontier between Laban and Jacob. i.e., between Aram and Israel, verse 52. Together with an explanation for the name Gilead, Gilead, number two, a private agreement concerning Laban's daughter's wife of Jacob, verse 50. Together with an explanation of the name Mizpah, watchpost, where the steel Mashba or Maseba is written on the other hand. It is possible that we have not here two traditions but strictly explanations of each part of the traditional composite name, Mizpah of Gilead. Watchpost of Gilead. The place is known from 11 verses 29 and lies south of Jabbok in Transjordan, Jordania, Jordan. The text has been further obscured by glassy voices, voices. Glossy, a surface luster of brightness, shine, a deceptive, attractive appearance, selfishness that had a gloss of humanitarianism about it. Bright, often surface superficial, attractive, phobic just, a viscous, usually tinted cosmetic preparation used for adding shine and usually colored to the lip gloss. Verb. To deal with a subject or problem to lightly or not at all. Use with over. Glosses over scholarly controversies rather than confronting them head on. Journalism. Stated the mask the true nature of give a decep- deceptively attractive appearance to use with others. His rank and weight would gloss over the defects of his character. Theodore Swidrook, to give a glass. No. A brief explanation as in the margin or between the lines of a difficult or obscure word or expression. A false and often willful misleading interpretation of a text. Glossary. An interlinear translation and continuous accompanying a text. Commentary interpretation. To provide a glass for. Provide a glass for. Explain, define, interpret. To dispose of by false or perverse interpretation. Text has been further obscured by glass field uncertainty. It is probable that some words of the text have been lost. J. R. Sa Adutha is the exact Aramaic equivalent of Gilead, caravan of witness. Oh, here the text and the God of their fathers, a glass, absent from the Greek and from some Hebrew mis- emesis. In ancient times, the gods of each contracting party were invoked as witness to a treaty. Okay. The God of the God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, was us between and between them, and Jacob feared by the fear of his father Isaac. Nahor, father of Terah.
What do you want? Money? I'll give you anything. Just let me go. I refuse to apologize. One word and I will forgive you. Amos, it's you. You thought I lost. One second. Lashes. All because I wish Cecilia once. We approached with lashes. How would you treat me for this much? Your dad. Take her to the hospital. Grace, thank God you're awake. Who did this? I called the police and gave your statement. It's fine. I love her really. Where's this? Isn't he supposed to protect you like 24/7? Sure. Your lashes. Amy, thank you for taking care of me. But you should head back. I heard Kelly hurt. You should check on her. She brought it on herself. Don't worry about that cold-blooded. You're rest. Who the hell's who insisted that I'm not here? She was asking what happened to me. I never will go hide. No, it doesn't matter. We're getting married. I'll be Cecilia's son. Just let them be together. That's what they always want. I'll be back. It's been quite a while. She must have realized her kid by now. Well, that wasn't my fault. Things are going. If she wanted the necklace, I'll make it up to her. Why? Because it hurt. What are you doing here? I want you to necklace. I got tired of them. I'll just suck my souls. Ellen, tomorrow, Cecilia's private violin concert. She keeps telling me she wants to get closer to you. Remember to be there. It's the least you can do. She's her sister vacation girl. That's a bitch. Kelly, you will always be our little princess. I gave everything to you. How could you betray me? What loves you bad? Your dumb daughter weren't good enough for my daddy, so he went out and let me a better version of us. Kelly! Oh, so happy you could. She's a bad attitude. Just like her mother. It's fine. She's just jealous. I mean, it's understandable. She has no talent, unlike me. We're about to blow everyone away today. Prepare to be amazed. Yeah, your talent is teaching in the past music having auditions. It's impressive. All we have to cling to is this private little event. Mr. Aaron Winston has long admired musical abilities of Miss Cecilia, and tonight he has gifts to match her. Oh my God, that's the only challenge of your wallet. You're right. Everyone got his queen, or by Queen Marie. All of these gifts are mere tokens of his love. But for the grand finale, this one, another power. It's supposed to be head over heels in love with you. The club. I don't care about the money. If he really wants to prove himself, he'll tattoo my name across his chest. That would really do it for me. Where are you going? The concert hasn't started, but I've already had another performance. Jealous, sister, of my pathetic concert? Everyone wears flowers, gifts, blood, and you. You're useless, pathetic. Kelly! Why did you do this to me? Kelly, she's your little sister. Shameless. Your sister invited you to the kindness of her heart. Priceless gifts from the students. You're right. I am ungrateful. I still got my mom. Just you know, I would never spoke my mom. That is something I would do. Go right there and apologize to Cecilia. You're supposed to be my bodyguard, remember? Protector. That's protecting her. If you best stop tormenting her. So what? Under lashes for everyone's sin. Possible. I was scared for her. Tormenting her. When her and her mother came, they made my mom sick to death. She came and she took all my toys and my clothes my whole life. They didn't give me the chance to learn anything at all. Just so she could shit. He's talking everything from her. A blind man and a snake. Match made in heaven. I hope you two are very happy together. For what? To care for Cecilia? Fine. Who cares if you ever come back? Just leave me for dead like everyone else. Why does it feel like something's been ripped out of me? Here, that's a Cecilia for me. Nice and baby, so you can see from mine. If your father finds out you're done, do it. Amos, thank you for finally showing me how insignificant I am in your heart. Congratulations. After tomorrow, I'm finally free. Kelly, I really want to marry the paralyzed heir of the Kaufman family. I can't bear to see you like this. It could be horrible for all we know. Think about it. You're right. I won't spend more tears on some cousin Ricky ever again. So I heard that your sister's father was a tattoo shop last night after the concert. You got 20 tattooed on his chest. Are you joking? We are your bodyguard. Just a toy. Whenever I get bored of tormenting Kelly, I'll toss him aside. Plus, my heart and my hand are Aaron Winston, like heir to the Winston family. You are so bad. You took everything from your sister, her dad, her reputation, even her bodyguard. Amos, you saw your precious Cecilia. You still love her. Here, come on. What are you doing? That's what makes.
Laban rose early Laban rose early next morning to kiss his son and daughter. He blessed them, and Laban left to return home, while Jacob was going on his way. Angels of Yahweh met him, of Eliam met him, and seeing them, he said, "This is Eliam's camp." And he named the place Mahanaim, or Mahanaim. Jacob prepared for his meeting with Esau. Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir, the country of Edom, with these instructions, saying, This is my king Esau. Here is the message for your servant Jacob. I have been staying with Laban till now, and have inquired and have acquired oxen, beasts, and burden and flocks, and men and women slaves. I sent news to their to this of this to my king.
I tried to persuade her to marry for true love, but she was just after the biggest paycheck. So, she got what she wanted.
Laban rose early next morning, kissing his son and daughters. He blessed them. Then Laban, then Laban returned. Then Laban left to return home, while Jacob was going on his way. The angel of Elohim met him, and on seeing them he said, "This is Elohim's camp." And he named the place Mahanaim.
You're almost I can carry hard things. Amos, I'm sure you're right. Amos, come dance with us.
Then Laban, Jacob prepares for a meeting with Esau. Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir, countryside of Edom, with these instructions: Say this to my king Esau. Here is the message of your servant Jacob. I have been staying with Laban till now, and have acquired oxen, beasts of burden, and flocks, and men and women slaves. I send news of this to my king, in the hope of winning your approval. The messengers returned to Jacob and told him, We went to your brother Esau, and he is already on his way to meet you. There are 400 men with him. Jacob was very afraid and distressed. He divided the people with him and the flocks and cattle into two companies, saying, If Esau comes to one of the companies and attacks it, the other company leave to escape, will be left to escape. Jacob said, O Elohim of my father Abram and God of my father Isaac, Yahweh, who said to me, Go back to your country and family, and I will make you prosper. I am unworthy of all the kindness and goodness you have shown your servant. I had only my staff when I crossed the Jordan here, and now I can form two companies. I implore you, save me from my brother's clutches, for I am afraid of him. He may come and attack us, and the mothers and their children. Yet it was you who said, I will make you prosper and make your descendants like the sand of the seashore, so many that it cannot be counted. Then Jacob passed that night there, for what he had with him he chose to give for his brother Esau 200 she goats, 20 he goats, 200 ewes, and 20 rams, 30 camel in milk, and 30 camels in milk with their calves, 40 cows, and 10 bulls, 20 she asses, and 10 donkeys. He put them in the charge of his servants in separate droves, and he told his servant, "Go ahead of me," leaving a space between each drove. And the next he gave the first this order: "When my brother Esau meets you and asks, 'To whom do you belong? Where are you going?' Those are those animals that you are driving. You will answer, 'To your servant Jacob. They are a gift. To whom do you belong? Where are you going? Whose are those animals you are driving?' You will answer, 'To your servant Jacob. They are a gift sent to my king Esau. Jacob himself is following.' He gave the same order to the second and the third, and to all who were following the Jews. That is what you must say to Esau when you find him. You must say, 'Yes, your servant Jacob himself is following.' For he argued, 'I shall conciliate him by sending a gift in advance. So when I come face to face with him, he may perhaps receive me favorably.' The gift went ahead of him, but he himself spent that night in the camp. Jacob wrestles with God. Uh, that same night he rose, and taking his two wives and his two slave girls and his 11 children, he crossed the ford of the Jabbok. He took them and sent. He took them and sent them across the stream, and sent all his possessions over. And Jacob was left alone, and there was one that wrestled with him until daybreak, who seeing that he could not master him, struck him in the socket of the hip. And Jacob's hip was dislocated as he wrestled with him. He said, 'Let me go, for day is breaking.' But Jacob answered, 'I will not let you go unless you bless me.' Then asked, 'What is your name?' Jacob, he replied. He said, 'Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, Yashar, Yashar, because you have been strong against alliance. You shall prevail against men.' Jacob then made this request, 'I beg you, tell me your name.' But he replied, 'Why do you ask my name?' And he blessed him there. Jacob Jacob named the place Peniel, because I have seen Elohim face to face. He said, 'I have strived.' The sun rose as he after the sun rose as he left Peniel, him limping because of his hip. The sun rose as he left Peniel, limping because of his hip. That is the reason why to this day Israelites do not eat the sciatic nerve, which is in the socket of the hip, because he struck Jacob in the socket of the hip and the sciatic nerve. Mhm. In our King James, the way I say, in our King James is supposed to say tendon. I don't think they have relationship. Yeah. But then obviously the tendon fleximus or contract. Well, the nerve sending signal, but mentally interconnect. 32. A. Mahaim Camp explains the name Mahaim explains the name Mahaim Camp. What do I mean? B. Jacob, having reached Esau's territory, takes the unusual precautions of a caravan approaching hostile country. These precautions are described in two ways. One following the Yahwistic tradition, verse 4 to 14. The other, the Elohistic, verse 14 to 22. Both traditions agree on Jacob's meek demeanor before Esau. In accordance with 27 to 41 to 45, and with what has been said of the two brothers' character in Genesis 25, verse 27 and verse 40. E. This prayer strikes a religious note surprising in this purely factual context. Moreover, it alludes to the Jordan instead of the Jabbok. It is a later elaboration, a later elaboration. D. En Elegmagnet's story, probably Yahweh speaks of a physical struggle, a wrestling with Elohim, from which Jacob seems to emerge victorious. Elohim recognizes the supernatural character of his adversary and exorcises a blessing from him. The text, however, avoids using the name of Yahweh, and the unknown act agnostic will not give his name. The author has made use of an old story as a means of explaining the name Peniel, face of Alan, a face of God, and the origin of the name Israel. At the same time, he gives the story a religious significance. Patriarch holds fast promises from him a blessing. Henceforth, all who hear Israel's name will have claim on Alan. It is not surprising that this dramatic scene later served as an image of spiritual combat and of the value of preserving prayer. St. Jerome Origin, chapter 30. Meeting with Esau. Looking up, Jacob saw Esau arriving with 400 men. Accordingly, he divided the children between Leah, Rachel, and the two slave girls. He put the slaves. Huh? No, that's one. Yes, Mary from Bible. I don't know what you mean. Obviously, I want Bible, I read it from. That's why I wonder if I something else to it. Apocrypha. Why, Jerusalem? Yeah. But Apocrypha additional books are Mary Genesis. Nothing else. Genesis and Apocrypha. The meeting with Esau. Looking up, Jacob saw Esau arriving with 400 men. Accordingly, he divided the children between Leah, Rachel, and the two slave girls. He put the slave girls and their children in front, with Leah and their children following, and Rachel and Joseph behind. He himself went ahead of them and bowed to the ground 7 times before going up to his brother. But Esau ran to meet him, took him in his arms, and held him close and wept. Then looking up he saw the women and children who are these with you? He asked. Jacob answered, the children whom Eliam bestowed on your servant. The slave girls then came up with their children, and they all bowed low. Leah also came along with her children, and they all bowed low. Finally Rachel and Joseph came up and bowed low. Esau asked, what was the meaning of all the company that I have met? It is to win it is to win Yahweh it is to win my king's favor. He replied, rather I have plenty. Esau answered, keep what is yours. Jacob protested, please, if I have found favor with you, accept the gift I offer. To speak truly, I came into your presence as into the presence of Eliam, but you have received me kindly to accept the gift I have brought for you. Since Eliam has been generous to me, I have all need. I have all I need. She urged him, and Esau accepted. Jacob leaves Esau. Esau said, let us break camp and move off. I will lead you. But Jacob replied, my king is aware that the children are weak, and that I must consider the sheep and the cows that have calves. If they are driven too hard, even for one day, the whole drove will die. May it please my king to go on ahead of his servant. For my part, I will move at a slower pace to suit the flock. I am driving, and the children, and I am driving, and the children until I join my king in Seir. Then Esau said, but I must at least leave with leave you some of the people accompanying me. While Jacob asked, all I desire is to win your favor. So that day Esau resumed his journey to Seir. But Jacob left for Succoth, where he built himself a house and made shelters for his livestock. That is why the place was given the name of Succoth. Jacob arrives in Shechem. Jacob arrived safely at the town of Shechem in Canaanite territory. On his return from Padanaram, he accompanied opposite the town, and for 100 pieces of silver he brought from the sons of Hamor. He bought from the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, a piece of land on which he had pitched his tent. Here he erected an altar which he called El Alaim of Israel, Yashar. Kala. Mhm. 33. 33a. Narrative for the most part Yahwistic, continuing that of chapter 32, verse 4 to 14. B. And wept conjunction and conjunction. E. Not the groups of chapter 32, 14 to 22. Eloistic tradition, but the first cavalcade of chapter 32, verses 8. Jacob had despaired of it. Chapter 32, verses 9. Traveling to God to offer it as a gift. D. Another allusion to the name Penuel, face of a lion. E. Jacob mistrusts Esau and letting him go on ahead takes another direction. Himself, um, E. Jacob mistrusts Esau and letting him go on ahead takes another direction himself. Yahwistic tradition. F. The name means a shelter made of branches. 30, 30 rape of Dan. Dinah, who was Jacob's daughter by Leah, went out to visit the woman of that region, Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, who was ruler of that region, saw her, carried her off, and raped her, and so dishonored her. But was captive, but he was captivated by Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. He fell in love with the young girl and comforted her. Accordingly, Shechem said to his father Hamor, "Get me this young girl. I want to marry her." Meanwhile, Jacob had heard how his daughter Dinah had been dishonored, but since his sons were out in the countryside with his livestock, Jacob said nothing until they came back. A matrimonial alliance with the Shechemites. Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out to talk to Jacob. When Jacob's son returned from the countryside and heard the news, these men were outraged and infatuated and infuriated, infuriated that Shechem had insulted Israel by raping Jacob's daughter, an offense that could not be overlooked. Hamor said to them, "The heart of my son, Shechem, is set on your daughter. I beg you, let him marry her. Ally yourself with us by marriage. Give us your daughter and take our daughter for yourself. Stay with us, and the land shall be open to you to live in, or move to our own." Shechem said to the father and brother of the young girl, "If only I can win your favor, I will give you whatever you ask. Demand, demand for me a huge bridal price and gifts. I will give you as much as you ask. Only let me marry the young girl." Then came the answer. Jacob's son, Jacob's sons gave to Shechem and his father Hamor crafty answer because he had dishonored their sister Dinah. "We cannot do such a thing," they said to them. "To give our sister to an uncircumcised man would be a disgrace to us. You can agree only on one condition, that you will become like us by circumcising all your males. Then we will give you our daughter, taking yourself, taking yourself for ourselves, and we will stay with you to make one nation. But if you do not listen to us on this matter of circumcision, we shall take our daughter and go." Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son, were pleased with what they heard. The young man did not hesitate about doing this, for he was deeply in love with Jacob's daughter. Moreover, he was the most important person in his father's household. Hamor and his son Shechem went to the gate of their town and spoke to their fellow townsmen, saying, these men are friendly, let them stay with us in the land, and move about as freely as they like. Let us marry, let us marry their daughters, and give our daughters to them. But these men will agree to stay and become a single nation, only under this condition: all males must be circumcised as they are. Will not their livestock, their goods, and all their cattle belong to us? If only we agree to let them stay with us. All the citizens of the town agreed to the proposal made by Hamor and his son Shechem, and so all the males were circumcised. The treacherous revenge of Simeon and Levi. Now on the third day, when they were still in pain, Jacob's two sons, Simeon and Levi, brothers of Dinah, took their sword and marched into the town. Unsuspected, they killed all the males. Put, they put Hamor and his son Shechem to the sword, took Dinah from Shechem's house, and came away. Jacob's son attacked the wounded and pillaged the town because their sister had been dishonored. They took away their flocks, cattle, donkey, and whatever there was in the town and in the countryside. They carried off all their riches, all their little children and their wives, and looted everything to be found in their houses. Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, you have done me harm, putting me in bad honor, bad odor with the people of this land. The Canaanites and the Perizzites, I have few men, whereas they will unite against me to defeat me and destroy me and my family. They, they retorted, is our sister to be treated like a whore? Eh, this chapter combines the domestic and a clan antidote. In the first, Shechem seduces Dinah and then asks her in marriage. He, attempt, he attempts the required circumcision, but is treacherously slain by Simeon and Levi. In the second, Hamor, father of Shechem, proposes a general matrimonial alliance with the sons of Jacob. This is agreed to on condition that the sons of Hamor are circumcised. The agreement is broken by the sons of Jacob, who sack the town and slaughter its inhabitants. The antidote are attributed respectively to the Elohistic and Yahwistic sources. B. One of the ancient races of Canaan, probably Genesis 10 verses 7, probably. However, we read with the Greek Horite, one of the enslaved of the non-Semitic uncircumcised group, are encave. A distinct territorial, cultural, and social unit enclosed within or as if within foreign territories. Distinct territorial, cultural, or social unit enclosed within or as if within foreign territory. Ethnic enclaves.
Enclave.
One of an Horite one of an enclave of non-Semitic uncircumcised group from the north. Deuteronomy 2 verses 4. 35. Oh, Jacob at Bethel. Abraham said to Jacob, "Move on now and go to Bethel, and settle there. Make an altar there for Abraham, who appeared to you when you were fleeing from your brother Esau." Jacob said to his family and to all who were with him, "Get rid of the foreign alliance you have with you. Wash and change your clothes. We must move on and go to Bethel. There I'll make an altar for Yahweh or Elohim, who heard me when I was in distress and gave me his help on the journey I made." They gave Jacob all the foreign gods in their possession and the earring that they were wearing under the oak tree near Shechem. Mm, I mean, so Jacob take out the earring them and take them. No, but alright, listen to it. They gave Jacob all the foreign gods in their possession and the earrings they were wearing. Jacob buried them under the oak tree near Shechem. Sword? No why people them him live there with him did a walk with the same people he live the walk with. Alright, he said Jacob at Bethel. He take them he did a plan to build an altar to God to Yahweh. So he tell them to forgive him all the idols and he take their earrings as well by asking them to give them their idols. And then he buried them. First, then really just say me have to really stop. You know say in a sitting there in a Israel when then they come out of Egypt when you say yeah. But me know say in a law he says don't pierce the skin. So me know say in a law say he said don't pierce the skin. So me know say the earring is wrong. But we never find one verse that actually say until now. Jacob with a taking and true. That don't match up with the law. Don't match up with the law. All the people then say they bought years for like slaves. Literal only slaves. I just the first time I watched that. I'm check King James. And they gave unto Jacob all their strange gods which were in their hands, and all their earrings which were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. What did I say? Better we safe than sorry. Alright. So what would I say? Be safe than better be safe than sorry. Military just following this issue. First time. The ring, nose ring. The definition. All the word. Nezi or Nazama. The period definition. From an unused root of uncertain meaning, a nose ring, earring, jewel. So basically, you take away all of the jewels and true. Said to, and God and I am said to Jacob, move on now and go to Bethel and settle there. Make an altar there for the Elohim who appeared to you when you were fleeing from your brother. Jacob said to his family and to all who were with him, get rid. Elohim said to Jacob, move on now and go to Bethel and settle there. Make an altar there for Elohim who appeared to you when you were fleeing from your brother Esau. Jacob said to his family and to all who were with him, get rid of the foreign alliance you have with you. Wash and change your clothes. You must move on and go to Bethel. There I will make an altar for the Elohim who heard me when I was in distress and gave me his help on the journey I made. They gave Jacob all the foreign alliance in their possession and the earrings that they were wearing. Elohim buried them under the oak tree near Shechem. They broke camp. A divine terror struck the town round about, and no one pursued the sons of Jacob. When Jacob arrived at Luz in the land of Canaan, Bethel in other words, and all the people with him, he built an altar there, giving the place the name Bethel, because it was there that Elohim had appeared to him when he was fleeing from his brother. Deborah, who was being Rebekah's nurse, died and was buried below Bethel under the oak tree. So they named it the Oak of Tears. Once more Elohim appeared to Jacob on his return from Padanaram and blessed him. Elohim said to Jacob, your name is Jacob, but from now on you shall be named you shall be named not Jacob, but Israel. Accordingly, they named him Israel. Elohim said to him, I am El Shaddai, be fruitful and multiply. A nation indeed, a group of nations shall be saved. Even kings shall be numbered among your descendants. I give this land, the land I give to Abram and to Isaac, and I will give them to your descendants after you. Then Jacob went up from him. Jacob raised among Jacob raised a monument in the place where he had spoken with him, a stone monument on which he made a libation and poured oil. Jacob named the place Bethel, where Eliam had spoken with him, the birthplace of Benjamin and the death of Rachel. They while Bethel, birthplace of Benjamin and the death of Rachel. They left Bethel, and while they were still some distance from Ephrath or Euphrat, Ephraim. Rachel began to be in labor, and her pains were severe. But in her difficult delivery, the midwife said to her, "Do not be afraid to have another son." Here, at the moment when she breathed her last breath, breathed her last, for she was dying, her name, she named him Benon, Benoi, Ben O Nai. His father, however, named him Benjamin, Bonyaman. So Rachel died and was buried on the road of Ephrath at Bethlehem. Jacob raised a monument on her grave, and this is the moment of the tomb of Rachel, the monument of the tomb of Rachel, which is still there today. Reuben's incest, fornication. Israel left and pitched his tent beyond Migdal Eder, while Israel was living in the district. Reuben went and slept with Bilhah, his father's concubine. Of 12 sons of Jacob. Jacob's Jacob's sons numbered 12. The sons of Leah, Jacob, Jacob's eldest son Reuben, then Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, the sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin, the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's slave, Dan and Naphtali, the sons of Zilpah, Leah's slave, Gad and Asher. These are the sons born to Jacob in Padanaram. Isaac's death. Jacob reached the house of his father Isaac at Mamre at Kirjath Arabah or Herban, where Abram and Isaac had stayed. Abram was 180 years old when he breathed his last. He died and was gathered to his people, an old man who had enjoyed his full span of life. His son Esau and Jacob buried him. Eh, This chapter tells of Jacob's journey from Shechem to Hebron, using this as a framework for traditionals drawn from various sources. B. This means more than disregarding the domestic idol Rachel had carried off. Chapter 31, 19 and 34. As in Joshua 2 verses 1. Also at Shechem, it is an act of faith in the one alive. 3. Purification preparatory to the Bethel pilgrimage. D. Versions Hebrew El Bethel, God Bethel or God of Bethel. In Hebrew, this word is in the plural. E- that had appeared. F. Benoni, son of Maesaro. The father changes this name of Omen to Benjamin, son of right hand, of the right hand, son of Happy Omen. Oh. The father changes this name of uh, to Benjamin. G. This comes from the priestly source. G. H. O, I. This closes the story of Isaac in the priestly tradition, which differs his death till now, identifies manner with Hebron, and does not mention this dispute with Esau. Confer Genesis 36 verses 6 and Genesis 27 verses 46 to Esau's wife and children in Canaan. Here are the descendants of Esau, who is Edom. Esau married women of Canaan. Ada, the daughter of Eliam the Hittite. Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna, who was the son of Zebulun the Horite. Basenmath, the daughter of Ishmael, the sister of Neboyas or Nayaboth. Ada bore to Esau Eliphaz. Basemath bore Uriel. Oholibamah bore Jehush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, born to him in the land of Canaan. Esau's migration. Esau taking his two wives, or taking his wife. Esau taking his wife, his son and daughter, all the member of his household, with his flocks, with his livestock, all his cattle, and all the goods he had acquired in the land of Canaan, left for the land of Seir, far away from his brother Jacob, for they had acquired too much to live together. The land in which they were at that time could not support them both, because their livestock, that is why, because of their livestock, that is why Edom settled in the mountainous region of Seir. Esau is Edom, white people, from which white people. Esau's descendants in Seir. Here are the descendants of Esau, father of Edom. In the mountainous region of Seir, here is the name of Esau's son, Eliphaz, the son of Ada, Esau's wife, and Reuel, the son of Basmath, or Bismath, Esau's wife. Here are the sons of Esau's wife, Oholibamah, daughter of Anna, sons of Zebon, Zebion. She bore him Jeshua, Jalam, and Korah, the chiefs of Edom. Here are the chiefs of the son of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz bore
sons of Eliphaz, firstborn of Esau, chief of Chief Timah, Chief Omar, Chief Zepho, Chief Kenaz, Chief Gatam, Chief Amir. These are the chiefs of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Ada. And here are the sons of Ruel, Ruel, son of Esau, Chief Nahath, Chief Zerah, Chief Shammah, Chief Mizzah. These are the chief of Ruel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Bismath, Esau's wife. Here are the sons of Olibamah, Esau's wife. Chief Jehu, Chief Jalam, Chief Korah. These are the chiefs of Esau's wife, Oholibamah, daughter of Anna. These are the sons of Esau, and these are their chiefs. This is Edom, the descendant of Seir the Horite. Here are the sons of Seir the Horite, native of the land of land. Lotan, Shobal, Ziboan, or Zibboan, Anna, Dishan, Izer, Dishan, Dishan. These are the chiefs of Horite, of the Horite. These are the chiefs of the Horites, sons of Seir, in the land of Edom. The sons of Lotan were Hori and Heman, or Hemam. The and Lotan's sister was Timnah. Here are the sons of Shobal, Alvan, Manahath, Ibal, Shepho, Onam. Here are the sons of Zebulun, Aya, Aina, the Anna, who found the hot springs in the wilderness as he pastured the donkeys for his father Zebulun. Here are here are the children of Anna, Disban, Olimabath, daughter of Anna. See, 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 see. Here are the sons of Dishan, Hidan, Eshban, It, Ithran, Keshran, or Chesran. Here are the sons of Uzer, Bilan, Avan, Akan. Definitely sound like one African tribe. Our African tribe literally Akan. Here are the sons of Dishan, Uz, and Aran. Here are the chiefs of the Horites: Chief Lotan, Chief Shoba, Bal, Chief Zeban, Chief Hannah, Hannah, Chief Dishan, Chief Izer, Chief Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites according to their clan in the land of Seir. Kings of Edom. Here are the kings who ruled in the land of Edom before an Israelite king ruled. In Edom they ruled Bilah, son of Beor. His city was called Dinhabah, or Dinabah. Bilah died and Jobab, son of Zerah from Bozrah, succeeded. Jobab died, and Husham of the land of the Timites succeeded. Husham died, and Hadad, son of Bedad, in the country of Moab, and his city was Avis. Hadad died, and Samla of Mashkira succeeded. Samla died, and Shual, Reboth, and Nahar succeeded. Shual died, and Baal-Hanan, son of Akbor, succeeded. Baal-Hanan died, and Hadad succeeded. His city was called Pau. His wife's name was Mehetabel, daughter of Matred from Mezahab. More chiefs of Edom. Here are the names of the chief of Edom according to their clans and localities. By name, Chief Timnah, Chief Aluvah, Chief Jeth- Jedith, Chief Aholibima, Alobima, Aholibama, Chief Elah, Chief Pihan, Chief Kenas, Chief Tibma, Chief Mibizar, Chief Mahgiled, Magidel, Chief Iram. These are the chiefs of Edom according to their residence in the land that were there. This is Esau, father of Edom. So this is the last we shall hear of in a collection of traditions or documents of Israelite origin. They deal with Esau's descendants, but there is no attempt to force them into agreement, either among themselves or with what was already said. See marginal references. The priestly tradition which does not speak of the quarrel between Jacob and Esau here explains their separation in the same way as it explains that of Abram and Lot, and almost in the same terms. The land of Syrian language. That's a wide, or this- the Hebrew as chief Korah, omitted by some. The Horites, in turn, mean two verses, are the ancient inhabitants of Seir. Seir personified as the ancestor. The Horites were dispossessed by the Edomites. Deuteronomy 2 verses 12 and verse 22. F. I.e. Before an Israelite king ruled Edom, rather than the sense understood by the Greek before a king ruled in Israel. Oh, I mean, chapter. Such I understand in I Jerusalem Bible is before um, is a king ruled Edom, what did it explain? This is what it said, before an Israelite king ruled Edom, rather than the sense understood by the Greek, before a king ruled in Israel. Because Israel did capture Edom at a point. So it's, are the kings who ruled in the land of Edom before an Israelite king ruled. Yes, verse 31. And these are the kings that ruled in the land of Edom before there reigned any king over the children of Israel. That is any. Yeah. Ato yung group. Pop Shirley talaga. O Pop Joker ka. Meron Pop Joker na. Wala na look like Pop. Huh? A Pop Joker supposedly pa rin T-Hawk. Kaya sa that na look like Pop Joker to me. I don't check it. Pop Joker. Pop Joker. Pop Joker. Pop Joker. Now. Pop Joker. Growth. Pak Choi Growth. Pak Choi Growth. Pak Choi Growth. Bak Choi. Bak Choi naman nga ito. Seedlings of bok choy. It look almost like the something like growing in the taste so white. That's what I mean. Look almost like it's something like growing taste so white. In a container and yeah. So, 37. This is 37. Jacob lived in the land where his father had stayed, the land of Canaan. 5 and 4. The story of Joseph. Joseph and his brothers. This is the story of Joseph. Joseph was 17 years old as he was still young. He was shepherding the flock of his brothers with the sons of Bilhah, and Zilpah, his father's wife. From their father of the evil spoken about. Israel loved Joseph more than all his other sons, for he was the son of his old age, and he had a coat with long sleeves made for him. But his brother, being seeing how his father loved him more than his other sons, came to hate him so much that they could not say a civilized word to him. Now Joseph had a dream, and he repeated it to his brother. Listening to listening, he said to his dream. Listening, he said, to this dream I have had. We were biding sheep in the countryside, and my sheep, it seemed, rose up and stood upright. Then I saw your sheep gather around and bow to my sheep. So you want to be king over us, his brothers retorted, or to lord to it, lord it, or to lord it over us? And they hated him still more on account of his dreams, and for what he said. He had another dream, which he told to his brothers. Look, I have had another dream, he said. I thought I was I thought I saw the sun and moon and 11 stars both bowing to me. He told his father and brother, and his father scolded him. And a fine dream to have, he said to him. Are all of us then myself, your mother and your brother, to come and bow to the ground before you? His brother were jealous of him, but his father kept the thing in mind. Jacob sold by his brother. His brothers went to pasture their father's flock at Shechem. Then Israel said to Joseph, are not your brothers with the flock at Shechem? Come, I am going to send you to them. I am ready, he replied. He said to him, go and see how your brother and the flock are doing, and bring me word. He sent him from the valley of Hebron, and Joseph arrived at Shechem. A man found him wandering in the countryside, and the man asked him, what are you looking for? I am looking for my brother, he replied. Please tell me where they are pasturing their flock. The man answered, they have moved on from here. Indeed, I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. So Joseph went after his brother and found them at Dothan. They saw him in the distance, and before he reached them, they made a plot among themselves to put him to death. Here comes the man of dreams, they said to one another. Come, let us kill him and throw him into some well. We can stay at us. We can say that a wild beast devoured. We can say that a wild beast devoured him. Then we shall see what become of his dream. When Reuben heard and saved his brother from their violence, he must not take his life. He said, shed no blood, said Reuben to them. Throw him into this well in the wilderness, but do not lay violent hands on him, intending to save him from them and to restore him to his father. So when Joseph reached his brothers, they pulled off his coat, the coat with the long sleeve that he was wearing, and catching hold of him, they threw him into the well, an empty well with no water in it. They then sat down to eat. Looking up, they saw a group of Ishmaelites who were coming from Gilead, camel laden with gum, traga, can, balsam, which they were taking down into Egypt. Then Judah said to his brothers, what do we gain by killing our brother and covering up his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, but let us not do any harm to him. After our brother and our own fish. His brothers agreed. Now some Midianite merchants were passing, and they drew Joseph out of the well. They sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and these men took him to Egypt. When Reuben went back, when Reuben went back to the well, there was no sign of Jacob, of Joseph. Tearing his clothes, he went back to his brother. The boy was disappeared. He said, what am I going to do? They took Joseph's coat and slaughtering a goat, they dipped the coat in the blood. Then they sent back the coat with long sleeves and had it taken to their father with the message. This is what we have found. Examine it and see whether or not it is your son's coat. We examined it and exclaimed, it is my son's coat. A wild beast has devoured him. Joseph had been the prey of some animal and had been torn to pieces. Jacob tearing his clothes and putting on a lined cloth or sackcloth mourned his son for a long time. All his sons and daughters came to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. No, he said, I will go down even while I will go down in mourning to Sheol beside my son. And his father wept for him. Meanwhile, the Midianites had sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's officers and commander of the guard. 37. A. The exception of chapter 38 and 49, the whole of this final section of Genesis is a biography of Joseph. This narrative, unlike what has gone before, proceeds without any visible divinity intervention or without any new revelation. It is one long session. Providence thwarts men, men's plots and turns their malice to profit. The lesson is explicit in Genesis 50 verses 20, confirmed Genesis 45 verses 5 to 8. Betrayed by his brothers, Joseph is rescued by a lion, who makes the betrayal itself serve the divine purpose. For its result, the arrival of Jacob's son in Egypt is the first step in making a chosen people. The key salvation is the survival of a numerous people. One whole the Old Testament to be enriched in the new year of with Exodus. We have a preliminary sketch of the redemption, not a few details in the narrative. Not a few details in the narrative bear witness to a precise knowledge of Egyptian affairs and customs as known to us from the Egyptian sources. B. Verse 2 seems to be a remnant of the priestly tradition. The rest of chapter 37 combines the Yahwistic and Elohistic traditions. Dreams. uh, Yahwistic, characterized by the use of Yahweh as the name of alliance, often relating to Yahwism, name of Eloist, of relating to or characteristic of one of the supposed ancient biblical sources. Eloistic document, characterized by use in Hebrew of the word Elohim rather than Yahweh as a designation of alliance. Of our characterized of our characteristic of our characterized by worship of alliance of Elohim, Elohim, other than has Yahweh. Yeah. C. Dreams play a large part in Joseph's story. Chapter 40. We are not defining operations. In chapter 20, verses 3. Basic chapter 20, verses 3. Chapter 28, verses 12. 31, chapter 31. But premonitions. The text adds, and they hate him still more of the gloss absent from the Greek.
Yeah, yeah. According to Genesis 35 to 19, Rachel is already dead. The narrative must be following another tradition which puts Rachel's death and Benjamin's death later and later. Verse 3 and 43, chapter 43 to 20, verse 21. If two combined sources are discernible here, Elohistic and Yahwistic. According to the former, Joseph's brother are for killing him, but Reuben hoping to rescue him later. For her throw Joseph into a well instead. To unknown to the brothers, extricate Joseph and him, and take him to Egypt. According to the second, Joseph's brother are for killing him. According to Joseph's brother are for killing him, but Judah suggests selling him to a party of Ishmaelites on the way to Egypt. After this, the two narratives come together again. See, let the victim's blood cry to heaven. The murderer covers it with earth. What have you to first Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the command and was made king of Egypt. Come on. Revelation 12 verses 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Wisdom, Solomon, Daniel, certain. But when the righteous was told, he forsook him not, but delivered him from sinners. He went down with him into the pit.
Wisdom of Solomon 10 verses 30. The righteous was sold, she forsook him not, delivered him from sin. He went down with him into the pit. Acts 7 verses 9. And the patriarchs moved with envy, sold Joseph into Egypt. Abraham was with him. Joseph, and he pitched between Gibeah and Scythopolis. And there he tarried a whole month, that he might gather together all the carriages of his army. Nebuchadnezzar. So, Isaiah 3, and behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for the iniquity. The earth also shall coat her blood, bestow their blood, and shall no more cover her slain. Until 26, 15 to 16. 26 verses 15 to 16. And for that time he sought opportunity to betray him. Jeremiah 31 verses 15. Jeremiah 31 verses 15. So say Yahweh, a voice was heard in Ramnah, lamentation and bitter weeping. Rahel weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children because they were not. Story of Judah and Tamar. It happened at that time that Judah left his brother to go down and stay with an Adonite called Hira. There Joshua. He made her his wife and slept with her. She gave and gave birth to a son whom he named Hira. He conceived, she gave birth to a son whom he named Onan. Yet again, she gave a son whom she named Shula. At Chisel, when she gave birth to him, Judah took a wife for his firstborn, Ir, and her name was Tamar. But Ir, Judah's firstborn, Judah took a wife for his firstborn, Ir. Her name was Tamar. But Ir, Judah's firstborn, offended Yahweh greatly. So Yahweh brought about his death. Then Judah said to Onan, take your brother's wife and do your duty. And her brother-in-law, then Judah said, take Onan. Then Judah said to Onan, take your brother's wife and do your duty as your brother-in-law. To refuse a child for your brother. But Onan, knowing the child would not be still seed on the womb, every time he slept with his brother's wife, to avoid providing a child for his brother. But he knew this was offensive to Yahweh. So he brought about his death also. Then Judah sent to his daughter-in-law Tamar, to your father, and for my son Shelah to grow up. For he was thinking he must not die like his brother. So Tamar went back home to her father. A long time passed. So Tamar went back home to her father. A long time passed, and then she was daughter the wife of Judah died. After Judah had been comforted, he went up to Timnah to the men who sheared his sheep himself, to sheep, to sheep, to the men who sheared his sheep himself and Hira, his Adonai friend. This was the reported to Tamar. Listen, your father-in-law is to Timnah for the shearing of his sheep. She therefore changed her widow's clothes, wrapped a veil around her, and sat down heavily afraid where the road to Enam, Enaim branched off the road to Timnah. Sheila had now grown up as she saw, and yet she had not been given to him as it was. You would have seen her, took her for a prostitute, since her face was veiled. Going up to her on the road, he said, come let me sleep with you. We did not know to sleep with you. She asked, I will sleep from the front. He answered, I'll give if you give me a pledge until you send. He answered, what pledge? See your card. See what pledge shall I give you? He asked, seal your card and the stick you are holding. She answered. He gave them to her and slept with her, and she conceived by him. When he rose him, then she rose and left him. Taking off her, she put on her widow's weeds. Taking off her veil, taking off her veil, she put her widow's weeds. What? Yeah, move quick. I can't move quick. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't know. Verse 9. When she rose and left him, and taking off her veil and her widow's weeds, plant that is not valid where it is grown, and usually a vigorous growth, especially one that tends to grow or choke out more desirable plants. Uh, uh, the garment often used in Torah, just worn as a signal of mourning by a widow, usually used in Torah, a band of crape worm on a man's hat, as a sign of mourning, usually used in Judah sent the kid Judah sent the kid by his Adullamite friend, to recover the plate from the woman, but he did not find her. He inquired from the men of the place, where is the prostitute who was by the roadside? Naaman, Anaim. There has been no prostitute there, they answered. So return, I did not find her, and is more, and when there had been no prostitute there. Let her keep what she has, Judah replied, or what she becomes, and what we shall become a laughing stock. At least I sent her this kid, even though you did not find it. Later, it was reported to Judah, the daughter-in-law. Furthermore, she is pregnant. Take her outside and burn her, said Judah. But as she was being led off, he sent this message to her father-in-law. It was one whom these things belonged who made me pregnant. Look at them, said. See who seal and carve and stick these are. Judah examined, means Judah examined them and then said, she is in the right rather than I. This comes of my not giving her this comes of my not giving her to my son. So, to leave his wife. He had no further intercourse with her. When the time for her confinement came, she was found to have twins in her womb. During the delivery, one of them put out a hand, and the midwife caught it and tied a scarlet thread to it, saying, "This is the first." Drew his hand back, and it was his brother who. Then she said, "What a breach you have opened for yourself." So he was named Perez. Then his brother came out with scarlet hand. So he was named Zero. No, no, no. 13. A. Yahwistic tradition relating to the origin of the tribe of Judah. Judah dwells apart from his brothers, and he associates the Canaanites from his union with Tamar. His daughter-in-law come the clan of Perez and Zerah. Perez is David's ancestor and consequently the Messiah's. Oh. In this way, we learn of the mixture of strains in Judah and its singular destiny among the other tribes, and consider all the history that followed. B.
According to Livery law, what is a crime? And Judah said to owner, take your brother's wife. Yeah. Judah said to owner, take your brother's wife. And you give it to your brother-in-law. Produce a child to your brother. See, how condemns Onan for failing to put his duty to the family and nation before his own self-interest. B. Return. She went home again. Correction. E. I.e. When he had observed all morning rites, confused, fixing your difference. Neither shall men tear themselves to the dead. Neither shall men give their consolation the dreams for their father. This guy has a heart. Come on, do that by the roadside. He's not playing the one, but is anxious to bear a child of her dead husband's skin. Later, verse 26. Judah will approve her conduct, and future generations will praise her. G. Strictly sacred prostitute, priestess of a pagan cult. It will be remembered that the hot ground is a Canaan. Hot ground is Canaan. What? Huh? Alright. 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 Come on, middle of year is by Laverne the betrothal of Sheila. Hence, though she lived with her father, he is under Judah's jurisdiction, and it is Judah who pronounces sentence on her adultery. At a later date, ordeal by fire was reserved for priest's daughter. Leviticus 21 You know, so, uh, this is what's going on. Is if she profane herself by playing the fool, she shall she profaneth her father, she shall be burnt with fire. I, Israel, means spirit. The name Zerah evidently alludes to the scarlet thread. Spirit means spirit. The name Zerah evidently alludes to the scarlet thread. Okay. Then, then it's alludes to his brethren dwell together, and one of them died, and have no children. The wife of the dead shall not marry widow unto a stranger. The husband's brother shall go in unto him, and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn shall she bear, and it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Yasharal. And if a man like not to take his brother's wife, and let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders, and say, my husband's brother is raised up unto his brother and name is Yasharal. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. And the elder of his city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stand to it and and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoes from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house. And his name shall be called in Israel the house of him that had his shoes unloosed. Proverbs 7 verses 10. Luke 1 verses 11. Okay. And Naomi said, turn again, my daughter. Why will ye go with me, and bear yet any more sons in my womb? Are there yet any more sons in my womb, that they may be your husband? Would ye tarry for them till they were grown, and would ye stay for them? 13. Would ye tarry for them till they were grown? Would ye stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughter, for it grieveth me much for your sake that the hand of Alliance is gone out against you.
Proverbs 7 verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and substyle of heart. She is loud and stubborn, her feet abideth not in her house. Now is she without, now in the streets, and light in the way, every corner. That's the one and three. Genealogy of Awashad, Saya, the judge, and Judas begot Perez and Zerah, and Tamar, of Tamar, and Perez begot Ishram, and Ishram begot Aram. Victory was discouraged. When the son of Aminadab, which was the son of Aram, was with the son of Ishram, which was the son of Perez, which was the son of Joseph. Early days in Egypt. Now Joseph had been taken down into Egypt. Potiphar the Egyptian, one of Pharaoh's officials and commander of the guard, brought him from the Ishmaelites, bought him from the Ishmaelites, who had brought him down there. The hour with, was with Joseph, and everything went well with him. He loved in the house of the Egyptian master, and when his master saw how Yahweh was with him, and how Yahweh made everything succeed, that he had turned his hand. Everything succeeded that he turned his hand to. He was pleased with Joseph and made him his personal attendant, and his master put him in charge of his household, entrusting everything to him. And from the time he put him in charge of his household and all his possessions, How blessed the Egyptians also out of the consideration of Joseph. Yahweh blessing extended to all his possessions, both household and estate. So he left Joseph to handle all his possessions, with and with and him at hand. Concerned himself. So he left Joseph to handle all his possessions, with and him at hand. Concerned himself with nothing beyond the food he ate. He attempted to seduce Joseph. Now Joseph was well built and handsome, and it happened sometime later that his master's wife looked desiriously at him and said, "Sleep with me." But he refused and answered his master's wife. "Because of me, my master does not concern himself with what happened in the house. In the house, he has handed over all his possessions to me. He has he is the more he is no more master in the house than I am. He has withheld nothing from me except yourself because you are his wife. How could I do anything so wicked and sin against Allah?" Alright. They tell me that to sit like that, yeah, but and also I sit like that. You don't want to see you sit down and talk. So you have to, all you can do, you just take concrete and just a mix the road. For the board. You know, I use your, just a mix it. Alright. Huh? Alright. Verse 10. Although she spoke to Joseph day after day, he would not agree to sleep with her and surrender to her. One day Joseph, in the course of his duties, came to the house, and there was not a servant there indoor. The woman caught hold of him by his tunic and said, "Sleep with me." But he left his tunic in her hands and ran out and off the house. See, he had left the tunic in her hand and left the house. He called to the servant and said to them, "Look at this. He had brought us a Hebrew to insult us. He came to me to sleep with me, but I screamed, and when he heard me scream and shout, he left his tunic beside me and ran out of the house." She put the tunic down by her side until the master came home. When she told him the same tale, the Hebrew slave who brought us came to insult me. But when I screamed and called out, he left his garment by my side and made his escape. When the master heard his wife say, "This is how your slave treat me," he was ferocious. Joseph's master had him arrested and committed to the gallows, where the king's prisoners were kept. Gallows. What is that? Gallows. Jail. Yeah. Jail. Uh, jail. Jail. Alright, from the school. Next room. And the older night cancel your shower. How do it work? Do you know how it works? Do you know how it works? Do you know how it works? I got my thought when I do this work. Obviously. And I thought, well, like, how we have to work, like, the technology behind. Later, if you a sort of alpha road, I thought, later, if you like, magnetic pole, yeah, this one have no canceling.
No, but you never hope that it's high and feel like it's not with everything
I
when
don't
you
feel like it ever agree with it.
look at the other one and you know it's going to go.
Eh? Joseph's master had him arrested and committed to the gallows, where king's prisoners were kept. Joseph in Gallo, in jail, and there in Gallo he saved, but Yahweh was with Joseph. He was kind to him and made him popular with the chief jailer. The chief jailer put Joseph in charge of the prisoners in the jail, making him responsible for everything done there. Chief jailer did not need interfere with Joseph's administration, but Yahweh was with him, and Yahweh understood success. Hey, in Yahwistic tradition, this narrative takes up the story from chapter 32. Chapter 40, Elohistic will tell the same tale somewhat differently. Both traditions have been kept intact but have been unified by means of a few editorial adjustments. Uh,
You got
Huh?
tape.
Yeah, what?
Eating the man tape
Yeah, but, mm-hmm.
and then expression food in my eye and feeding somebody who is eating terrible. 100 in food. I have to look out there.
Yeah. Not the same. Not a big. You want it. Those is the time of this to kept the command and made king of this, right? And the patriarchs moved with envy toward Joseph into Egypt. Ephraim was with him. Um, 105, verse 8. His feet they hurt with fetters. He, he sent a man before them, even Joseph, who was sold to a servant, whose feet they hurt with fetters. He was laid with iron until the time that his word came, word of the hour cried. And one verse is now. Now God had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs.
So your grandmother would have nice. So your grandmother died, your mother and grandmother. It is not a good. So you are a good level. You are a good level. You cannot manage money. Yes, yes. Alright, hey, 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 hey. You're talking to me later. You tell it, you tell it, you tell it. You tell it to me what's that, chemical concentration. Yes, yes, I can't switch on this.
That's why God said, get people.
I'm just copying that in my innocence. But I'm just trying to keep
So funny. Communion.
what was the parents dead and then the
Should I break? Should I continue? 3 hours. Divine purpose. I praise God for the house. We soon portion him and to so